For 40 years. That surprises some of you, doesn't it? 40 years. I tell my class, and as I tell you, age is a number, not a condition. And we start off with that, and I said, okay, I'm ready to go. How about you? Now I'm going to take you back, and in some cases, a long time. Because I'm going to be talking about education. But I want to start off with just a couple of flyers to show you what we're doing here in this country, or the California in particular. The thing that we're doing here in California, you can't really see this, but California, along with all the southern states, are in the bottom 1/3 of the educational spectrum for the United States. In reading, and in math, and in overall education, we're in the bottom 1/3. This state used to be in the top of education. We are now, in the state of California, number 38 out of 50 states. You're paying a lot of money for a mediocre system. Any educators in here, raise your hands if you are. I'm not here to insult you. I'm here to say you know what to do. We just have to get you to change a little bit. I want to start off by taking you back and changing my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Taking you back to the time that you came into elementary school. Can you go back that far, some of you? Some of you, it's a stretch, but for me, it's very important, because it's very important to this talk tonight. You go back to the first grade. Some of you can go back there and name the teacher. I can't name the teacher, but I can name the experience vividly, and I want to take you back to the same position, the same time, so that you have a keen understanding of what I'm talking about. I go back to the first grade. I live right across the school from 99th Street School in East LA. And I was excited. I was going into the first grade. I missed kindergarten. I don't know why. I guess my mother decided I wasn't old enough or didn't look good enough, but I didn't go. Anyway, I'm sitting on the curb waiting for the bell to ring so I could run across the street to my classroom for the first time in my life. And the bell rang, and I took off like a shot, looking both ways to be sure I didn't get clobbered before I got there. I got across the street, I saw the bungalow on one side and the big building on the other, and I remember that vividly. It was a two-story building, but ours was a bungalow. I went in the door on the north end of the classroom. Pretty good memory, right? I ran into the classroom, looked around, and I said, I sit on the right-hand side, back about 4 seats. And by the way, I've been doing that ever since I started college. I was always on the right-hand side of the classroom, 3rd or 4th seat back. That was a habit. I would sit there all the time. But I sat down in that seat with my new pants and new shoes and new shirt. I was really excited about education. And I looked up at the board. Above the board, which was a blackboard in those days, was a long piece of paper with all the names of all the students written up there. This is the first time in my life I had ever seen my name in script. Cursive, actually. And I just thought to myself, Clifford the Summerall, that is beautiful, absolutely. I was so excited, I said to myself, that's the prettiest name up there. I was ready to learn. I was so sparked, I was ready to take off and tear up the world. I had what we call the first grade zest for learning. About the 3rd grade, we blow those lights out. And we go on through school with our lights out, going through the motions. But that zest was there. I lost it, I picked it up someplace in college and decided, hey, you better get with it. The most important thing in education, said Winston Churchill, is appetite. Think about that. I had the appetite, so did you in the first grade. You lost it in the 3rd grade, about the 3rd grade. The problem that we're facing in education today, and get it, folks, because it really affects you. Modern education lacks the fundamental strategy for keeping up with the economic viability and world competition. Oh boy, there's a lot of words, right? Let's break it down into what it really is. By definition, we are failing to make the changes to meet the new needs. Hear that again. By definition, we are failing to make the changes to meet the new needs. We've got a lot of good people out there. I'm one of them. But we're failing to make the changes. I made a lot of changes in education. I'll tell you one that I have made right here. I go into my classroom, I say, I'm not your professor. I am your mentor. I want to see you make it in this class. I'm not trying to figure out how I can flunk you. I want to see how I can get you to make it. I had students come to my home in Fallbrook, in my studio, which is my garage, and I take them on one at a time, and I help them make it. I've had students cry, I've had students pass out, I've had students go in and out of the doctors, all kinds of things happening, because the student going to school today is different than the student going to school when you went. They've got all kinds of things that they're doing. But we are failing to make the necessary changes. Now, hear me out, folks, because I'm going to hit you right